All right, Dolphin fans, you want to find out how Jonathan Taylor can become a Miami Dolphin, even if I don't think it's going to happen? And I'll tell you why I don't think it's going to happen, because there has to be a give and a take in negotiations. So the question is, will the Colts really want to give and take? I think they're not at one point. Will the Dolphins want to give and take? I think not at one point. Let me explain. And listen, we walked you through the whole Dalvin Cook situation. Nobody in the media was even close to how we guided you through the entire Dalvin Cook situation. Okay? Their MO is low-hanging fruit. Okay? So even if he's 24, there's still low-hanging fruit to it, and I got to explain. They got Jalen Ramsey for a third rounder. That's all right. Now, the question is, first, second rounder, is that what the Colts want? Well, I don't believe that the Dolphins are ever going to get there. Do you know why? The give and take for you to take that, you got to take, let's say for a second round pick, you got to take Emmanuel Ogbah. Do they want Emmanuel Ogbah? They have Kwity Paye and they have some guy named Samson Ebukam. Okay? They're not deep at defensive end. They could use Ogbah. But do they want the salary? I don't know. They're in a rebuild. Maybe they don't want to do that. Because in order to take Taylor, to then pay Taylor, you got to then take salary. Oh, you want a first rounder? Here's Christian Wilkins. But we have DeForest Buckner. We don't need Christian Wilkins. Okay? And Christian Wilkins wants a contract. We're in the middle of a rebuild. We're not paying anybody. Give and take. If we're going to pay Ogbah, then let's just pay Jonathan Taylor. If we're going to pay Christian Wilkins, let's just pay Jonathan Taylor. Give and take. It's got to mix. It's got to match. Okay, so here comes low-hanging fruit. See, because that's low-hanging fruit. Yeah, you got to give up the first, but, bro, you got to go pay for Wilkins now. That's you. It's on you. Now they have to figure out another way. It would suck, whatever, but you get your Jonathan Taylor. Give and take. Well, you want your second rounder? Well, here's Ogbah. Give and take. Okay, so then we'll give you a third, and we'll give you Cedric Wilson. Why? Well, outside of Michael Pittman Jr., they've got Alec Pierce, Isaiah McKenzie, Brashard Perriman. Poor kid's never been able to find his way, and some kid named Josh Downs. So their receiving core isn't anything that Cedric could fit in there. And you could get rid of that salary. But we're not giving you a second rounder just because you're taking set. We'll give you a third because we have to pay Jonathan Taylor. And if we have to pay Jonathan Taylor $13 million, you're taking away $7 million, at least we're halfway there. That's the way they're looking at it. Okay? Give and take. Oh, but shit. Cedric Wilson and Raheem Mostert and a third rounder is not enough. Give and take. And so then, remember, if you give a first or a second rounder, you then have to give him 13, 14, 15, 16 million a year. And you got to give him 40 million guaranteed. And he has had injuries. He has a lot of mileage. That dude had 900 carries alone at Wisconsin. He averaged over 300 carries a year at Wisconsin. And he's got like another 700 and something here in the first few years. He's got a lot of mileage. He's coming off an injury. You're going to guarantee all that money? Give and take. Give and take. Fantasy football is fun. Reality football, it's a whole different ball game. You're playing a different level game, and you got to have the right mix match. And the way they're going to do it in Miami is if, hey, yeah, you can take this, yeah, we'll give you that, but the penalty for that is this because I still have to pay him because the whole thing is Taylor. See, none of this makes any sense. Indianapolis with a young quarterback that's a running quarterback, and they don't have to pay him for 5 years. They should be paying Jonathan Taylor. I don't understand this dysfunction at all. But it's the give and take. And if Mike Tannenbaum was here, the first or second round pick would have been gone and they would have signed it because it's the shiny thing. That's not the way this front office works, man. And I keep trying to explain it to people, but I get it, man. People need clicks and people need views, and they got to just tell you, oh, there's interest. Well, what kind of interest? You know what I'm saying? It's not that simple. They're not just this isn't fucking Oprah and you can have some money and you can have some money and you can have some money and you can have a car and you can have this. That's not the way. No, that was Mike Tannenbaum. That was a whole different regime. So I just think that there has to be a give and take in the process. And I just don't know if it's going to be there in the end. I kind of feel that the owner is kind of screwing with Jonathan Taylor and his agent. And because Saquon Barkley, after all that crying, didn't get anything. Aaron Jones had no way out except taking a pay cut. Mixon too, nobody. Eckler didn't get anything. A little extra cash like Barkley, like Saquon. Nothing. Dalvin got casted aside and had to wait around for the Salvation Army can, and he's lucky that Aaron Rodgers was in New York. If not, there's no way he gets $8.6 million. So it just, I have a feeling like the Colts need him anyways. So they're just letting him go out there and then, oh, you go find the deal. And then the Colts will say, well, no, we're not getting enough what we want. And they want to win the trade. And I don't think the Dolphins are going to, give, and there's no take. And it's just, there's just no way. I just, that's my problem with this whole thing. That's why I've been kind of negative on it, that I don't think it's going to happen. I don't really think they even need him, to be quite honest. If it was an offensive lineman, man, I'd be telling you, yeah, more give than take. Go ahead. That's all right. We're good. Get the offensive lineman. That'll make that'll make Tua, that'll make running backs, receivers, tight ends. That'll make everybody better. Give me that offensive lineman. But the running back, you got enough, man. I'm not going crazy. And I think you have to do it in a way where you're also doing something on the back end. You're unloading something. And if you want a higher pick, well, then no, you got to take a bigger piece of the pie, a bigger piece of the responsibility. Would you do any of those kind of things? These are all examples that I'm throwing out there because I'm looking at salaries, I'm looking at need, I'm looking at all that, and I'm being realistic instead of what I think a lot of you have been living in the past with those idiots that used to give away all the kind of shit. And this front office is just not that way. So, that's why I tell you. Welt Rheaume, by the way, the law office you want to call, 954-966-4646, anywhere in South Florida, even one of our listeners in Orlando. Bankruptcy, condo damage, criminal defense, personal injury. Call Jeff and Dan, 954-966-4646. I don't know how this is going to end, okay? But I think it's going to end like all the other ones. It's Chris Greer trying to steal something. And if that relationship is not so terrible that maybe they want to wait a year to pay the kid, maybe they want to wait till next year. I don't know. They have control over him. So you can't go anywhere. They can tag him. They can control him. It's the way the league is. I just think that in the end, I don't think that the Dolphins have too many people to pay. Too many people that they have to pay. And in order for you to pay him, you have to unload more. You cannot keep taking on because then you're going to lose some really good players that you're going to need that are foundational players. And for a running back that's interchangeable, that breaks down, that's a contact position, that takes on a lot of hits, not delivering the hits, they take the hits. You know what I'm saying? It's just a really risky proposition. And that's why I think that he will explore it. But remember what I told you about the whole Cook situation. If they're going to do it, it's going to be on Dolphins' terms. If this is going to happen, it's going to happen. Laramie Tunsil. Hey, we'll give you a first rounder. Bill, we love your little dimple right here, Wow, it's cute. But, dude, we can't do that. I'm sorry. We really love Laramie. He's a foundational piece. Is this Chris Greer? Week later, hey, we'll give you 2 first-rounders. Bill, I'm flattered with that. I am flattered that you would call me and give me 2 first-rounders for Laremy Tunsil. But I got to tell you, he's worth more to us because we love him. He's going to protect quarterbacks for the next 10 to 12 years. Bill, you know how hard it is to find quarterbacks? It's going to be a lot harder to keep them around if I don't have Laremy Tunsil. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Ring. Hey, we'll give you 3 first-rounders. Hey, no, sorry. We still can't. Hey, we'll give you a second-rounder. We'll take the receiver. Oh, okay. Well, go ahead. It's just, the balls you got to have to wait for them to get all the way down to, and you'll take this player too. And you think he's going to turn around and just give the house for the running back. That's not how it's played. He got Jalen Ramsey for a 3rd. He got a 4th for Tannehill. He took a little bit of hit of money, but he got rid of Tannehill. This guy works. This guy traded to Belichick, the receiver, got a 6th-rounder from him, and then he cut him, and then he signed them after. This is a ruthless mofo. This thing of Santa Claus playing general manager, and the elves are back there just hand out them picks. Hand out them picks. What do you think he is, a guitarist in concert, just throwing them out there into the crowd, the picks? Come on. I just think there has to be that give and take. And if they don't take some of this, you don't get some of that.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.